Why, hello, it's Miss Gina, and you're at Gina's Planet, and it's story time. And in Georgia today, we had a heat warning. It was supposed to be 108 was the heat index for the day. When I was out in my truck earlier, it was registering 99. But yesterday, when I was in my truck, it was 117 in my truck. It was bad. The heat's been really excessive the past couple of days. I'm a little bit worried what August will bring. I'm in Northwest Georgia, and it's hot in the south, and it's humid, and it's stuffy. And I got choked, and I went and got me a drink, so now I'm a little better. I think I got too hot, so I hope you're staying cool today. I've got my fans on, and I've got my airs coming on when it needs to, because it is hot today. Very hot. And I hope you played by a pool or in the water hose or did something to stay cool and hydrated today. Chapter 6, Show and Tell. That's where we left off. Chapter 6, Show and Tell. Good morning, Mr. Treacle, says Mr. Bunkoff. I've caught some new students for you. Thank you, Mr. Bunkoff, says Miss Treacle. And welcome to you all. You're just in time for show and tell. Why don't you start by telling us a little about yourselves? Can you tell us a little about yourselves? I'm a Grammy and I have 2 grandchildren. Can you tell me something about you? Yeah? Oh, that's good to know. Thanks for sharing. All right, let's dive right in. Show and tell. Well, says Terry, my name is... I'll handle this, I say, interrupting him. I'm the narrator. My name is Andy, and this is Terry, and this is Jill. We live in a 169-story treehouse. Well, Jill doesn't live in the treehouse exactly. She lives in a cottage full of animals on the other side of the forest, but she hangs out with us a lot. We have a tank full of man-eating sharks and a bowling alley and an ice cream parlor with 78 different flavors run by a robot called Edward Scooperhands. Here's a picture he's drawn of Edward Scooperhands. I don't know if you can see that little drawing or not. I hope so. He draws nice little pictures, little sketches. What an interesting story, says Miss Treacle, smiling. You obviously have a vivid imagination, Andy. Well, maybe, I say, but I'm not making this up. It's the truth. We really do live in a treehouse. You can read all about it in our books. Oh, we don't have books like that in our school, says Miss Treacle. Our principal, Mr. Grangrine, insists that we have only nonfiction in our library. But our books are nonfiction, I say. Do you know what nonfiction means? Some of you, I know you do. Yes. Nonfiction means it really happened. If it's fiction, it means that they made it up. But they're saying their books are nonfiction. So he's saying they're true stories. Excuse me, Miss Treacle, says Terry. Incoming flying rabbit. A flying what? Says Miss Treacle. Rabbit, says Terry. Look out the window. There's a flying rabbit, and its head is straight for us. I look up. You see any flying rabbits? Look out your window. Oh, shoo, coast is clear. Terry's right. There really is a flying rabbit towards us. A rabbit flying towards us, and it's coming fast. Jill jumps up and opens the window just in time. The rabbit flies through it and lands safely in her arms. It really was a flying rabbit. Who knew? Give me a second, I'm gonna get a drink so I don't get choked again. That's better. Much better. The class clap. If I could talk. The class crowds around Jill, who turns to Mrs. Treacle and says, "Can this rabbit be my show and tell?" "I think it already is," says Miss Treacle, chuckling. "I wonder where it came from." "Just a moment," says Jill. "I'll ask it." She holds the rabbit up to her face, twitches her nose, and makes a series of small clicking noises. The rabbit does the same, and soon the two of them are deep in conversation. "I hate to rush you, Jill," says Miss Treacle, "but we have to leave time for others to do their show and tell too." "Sorry," says Jill. "Rabbits are very talkative. They can go on for hours." "It says it was fired from the rocket-powered carrot launcher in Andy and Terry's treehouse. I think your imagination is every bit as good as Andy's," says Miss Treacle. "No, it's true," says Jill. "You see, this other Andy and Terry and Jill got out of the doppelganger mirror, and they went to carrot launching level and launched this rabbit." Ah. Everybody's listening intently. Interesting. Those doppelganging friends, I say, they're going to wreak havoc. They're going to wreck everything. Can we go home, please, Miss Treacle? We need to stop them before they do anything really bad." "I'm afraid not," says Miss Treacle. "School doesn't finish until 3:30. Besides, it's time for Terry's show and tell." "Yay," says Terry. "Finally." "What do you have to show us today, Terry?" says Miss Treacle. "Well," says Terry, "I am, I know. I can show you my lucky rubber band. I think I've got it here somewhere. Yes, here it is." Terry puts his hand in his pocket and pulls out what looks like a rubber band. But I can see it's not a rubber band. It's the rubber ring on the ripcord of his emergency inflatable underpants. But before I can warn him, the classroom is filled with a loud whooshing sound, and his underpants have inflated to 10 times their normal size. "Oops," says Terry. "Oops." Oops. I need another sip. Everybody laughs. Well, everybody except Miss Treacle. "Settle down now," she says in a slightly louder and slightly less sweet voice than before. "That's quite enough." "Sorry, Miss Treacle," says Terry. "It was an accident. I'll just de-inflate them now." He fumbles for the de-inflating cord and pulls it. Flop. Uh-oh. As the air whooshes out of his underpants, Terry flies around the classroom and bounces off the walls like a super ball. Terry! Here he goes. Bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, 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 bing. Whoosh. Terry's going everywhere. Everywhere. This sets the class off laughing again, and they don't stop until his pants get caught in the ceiling fan. Whee! Says Terry as he swings around and around above us. Whee! There goes Terry. Whee! I'm flying! That's when there's a knock at the door. Knock, knock. Uh-oh. Chapter 7 will be Principal Grind. I hope you enjoyed that story, and I'll see you next time. That was part of our book, The 169 Story Treehouse, Monkeys, Mirrors, and Mayhem by Andy Griffiths and Terry Denton. I hope you're enjoying this story and share it with your friends. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. You've been at Gina's Planet, and I was so glad you were here. Bye-bye. When you don't use this for a few seconds, it has to reboot.